It's 5 things we learned. It is John Gibbons here with Fuad Hasan, and we're ready to learn 5 things, no more, no less, about Sheffield United, Liverpool 2. Now, Fuad, I reckon you were a SWAT in school, so I think you're ready to learn with me today.
I am. Teach me, John.
Yes. Even after getting in late and all that,
Yeah.
you're going to be all right.
I'm ready to learn all the things. You chuck them at me.
Well, I'm ready to learn because I'm going to learn this from you. I didn't go last night, you did. So, number 1, Sheffield in December looks cold.
It was cold, John. Yeah, I can confirm it is cold. It feels like when the year we won the league. I think it was November, wasn't it? So it was cold then, but it was even colder. It was even colder yesterday. And to be honest, I wanted goals mainly to be warm. I wanted the let-offs so we could all move around a bit. Exactly. Honestly, we needed to do little warm-ups up and down the concourse to keep us going. But yeah, it was a great day out. It was a great end. You love a clincher at the end, don't you, to really kind of set you off on your way. And we got that right in front of us. So yeah, couldn't ask for more.
Couldn't ask for more. Perfect goal to celebrate when the weather is less than ideal. I think it is fair to say. And tell us a little bit about that moment when it goes in, because the end looked great and did have a few pangs of jealousy. I mentioned on the post-match bite, when I was sort of, just getting out of the car to do a short walk to the pub, I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm here tonight. But then when I saw the end for some hours later on, I was like, oh, maybe we could just transport myself to Sheffield now. It'd be great. Was it good?
Yeah, it was really good. Around us, it was quite funny because it went from one extreme of fuming at Nunes for losing it to then winning the ball back and everyone being so in love with that tackle to then the goal. It did really go off. I watched the back on Match of the Day and I saw Cam Rimmer's head front and centre of the celebrations. Seems to be on TV every week these days.
Cam loves him.
Honestly, he really gets in. It was a great let off and yeah, I mean it was sort of what they deserved. They deserved it for their hard work in that second half and the away end kind of reciprocated and gave Darwin and Szoboszlai heroes sending off the pitch.
Yeah, nice salute from Morty Bond as well. We saw you, Morty. Number 2, Endo is growing in the manager's thoughts. I think it's really interesting to me that he's the one that comes in, ahead of Jones and Elliott. And listen, it might be because he wants them for a specific role, but it does show that he's maybe not quite just this switch player, not quite this reserve player that maybe he was looking like. He's been rewarded for good performances and obviously his goal with a start here. And so I thought that was a really interesting selection to me, but just shows that the manager's getting more and more confidence in what he can give on the pitch.
Totally. I was thinking about him a bit after the Fulham game and sort of his role and what the manager first said when he came in about, he's almost a Milner replacement in a lot of ways. And I don't necessarily mean that in experience. Yes, he's experienced. And the skill set is slightly different. He definitely is a lot better on the ball than I expected, and he could, he intercepts a lot more than I thought he would. I thought he'd be a bit more of that kind of destroyer type player, but more so, when he brings him on against Fulham, and then he starts him yesterday. It's almost an intensity thing. And that's what the manager used to do with Milner a bit, didn't he? It wasn't a case of go on and kick a few people. It was towards the end, but earlier on with Milner, it was go in and change the game, bring that energy. The year we won the league, he does that quite a lot, doesn't he, in a few away games. So it's good to see that he's grown in his confidence. He's more comfortable in his own kind of skin playing in this side. And that means the manager can trust him in these situations. And yeah, you're totally right. He is rewarding the manager for the faith in him. And I enjoyed his performance. I thought he was quite solid. Nothing spectacular, but nothing, to sort of make you worry too much. And against quite a physical side. So it's another bit of experience for him, and it's another sort of option for the manager to have from the start rather than just off the bench.
And with McAllister's injury, there's a fair chance he starts again on Saturday.
Yeah, no, there is. I'm not sure how bad it is. I heard it was stitches or something.
Yeah, it's more uncomfortable, I think, rather than any sort of long-term thing. But I just think because the game's so soon after, they might just decide to give him the week off, get himself sorted. Apparently they stitched it too well at one point, so that it got really tight and uncomfortable.
Amazing.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, get worse doctors, Liverpool. I think I'd be comfortable with that. I think I start to worry if it was the bigger games, against the bigger sides where we're having to get him to start. Not based off anything, it's just purely because I feel like the midfield we have has done quite well, and there's that kind of the balance there, and they're growing used to sort of playing with each other. So I don't want to change it too much, but if based off the performance yesterday, if he was to be dropped in against Palace, I'd be more than comfortable. I think he's shown enough quality on the ball when Liverpool are going to be the more dominant side and are going to sort of have to take the game to the opposition in that way. He's shown enough ability to sort of get it and play a pass. And then if you're putting in goals like you did against Fulham, then you more than deserve your place in the team.
Absolutely, a genuine first team option now. And listen, you can never have too many, can you? And if he's another one, they're absolutely brilliant. Is right. He's worked hard. He's been patient. He's shown a lot of humility, and now showing a lot of quality as well. Number 3, a slight negative for me. It just feels like Joe Gomez doesn't look quite as comfortable at left back at the moment that he does in other positions. I think he's been one of the positives of the season so far. His form, we've seen him at right back playing well. We've seen him at centre half. I think left back, certainly earlier on defensively, there was a few mistakes, but also sort of going forward again towards the end where he's cutting back. And I'm just not quite sure about him as an option there. Listen, hopefully Andy Robertson's back sooner rather than later, and so you're able to switch him and Chimikas in, and then we'll obviously, be fine from there. But I just wonder whether, obviously Chimikas will come back for the weekend all being well, whether they may have another little look at Luke Chambers in that Union game or something like that, because it does feel like, he doesn't quite feel comfortable there to me.
Totally, I'm totally with you. I actually thought before when we were when Robson to get injured and we did need sort of added options there, I thought he could do a job purely based on the fact that he played there when he first came, did he? But I think the more I've seen it, and especially yesterday, it didn't feel comfortable, did it? It felt like it was like a glaring kind of weak link almost in the side. Not necessarily his ability, it's just sort of what he offers in that position compared to what this Liverpool side needs in that role. And I thought, he makes the mistakes, doesn't he? A couple of mistakes on the ball that probably aren't too much to do with position, but just a bit of sloppiness, which we saw a little bit of. But yeah, I think the cutting in all the time is a bit of a difficulty, and he took that wild shot on his left foot as well, which the away end wasn't happy with, John. I'll be honest with you.
Tell Craig to shut up, stop.
but like you can't fault the endeavour, can you? And he has sort of the guy has been thrown all over the place and played all sorts of positions. So I think it was very much the definition of stopgap yesterday, and it did a job in the end. I don't think Liverpool were going there to put on an exhibition of football. It was very much go there and do the business and get out again with everything intact.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that was what was necessary. And listen, Joe Gomez has, I'm sure, got plenty of games in him, but hopefully not too many for me. And I guess I feel like a left back much more comfortable to me from an attacking and defensive point of view in different areas of the pitch. Number 4, Virgil adds to this finishing showcase. It seems to me like they say that, to play for Liverpool, you don't need to be able to play. You don't need to be able to pass it and be comfortable on the ball. Apparently, it's also blammers only because we saw the midfielders and Trent Alexander-Arnold, this sort of midfielder, doing this wonderful showcase of finishing at the weekend, and then Virgil's just added to it. If that's what they do in training, then fair play, because it's the best bit of footy. Yeah. So maybe they do a little bit, they do what the manager does, and then afterwards they're like, right, let's all stay and score some goals. And it looks like that's what they've been doing, and they're practicing scoring. And they're all boss at it.
They are, yeah. Headers and volleys after training every day. Yeah. That's what it seems like. I watched it back on Match of the Day, and like in the ground, I thought it was a bit scuffed or it bounced ahead of him, but he hits it clean, doesn't he?
Clean as anything.
Clean on the volley. And he's quietly done a few of them over the years, hasn't he? The volleys off corners and free kicks. The technique is just supreme. And Liverpool need the set pieces. I think the manager mentions it after the game, doesn't he? That you do need those set pieces in these sort of games, and Liverpool are their best in the league winning season, win games like that through set pieces, and that ability coming back and that threat coming back is huge. And now we're seeing the complete Virgil again, aren't we? We're seeing, we've been talking about how good he is defensively, and now that when that side of his game comes to shine, then everything else is purring. And it was a great finish. Salah had another chance as well, didn't he? Similar sort of
good save, that
really good save. Yeah, it's a really good save. So Liverpool scoring goals off set pieces is always a good sign, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, and first goals from set pieces as well, because they often sort of opens up the game from that. And some of Liverpool's best wins, even 4 or 5, it's often surprising looking at that first one being a sort of set piece, and then the other team have to come out a little bit, and everything kind of opens from there, really. So if you can get your opener from that, it really can, open up the game, if you like. But Virgil, is there anything he can't do? I'm not quite sure, but it is a really nice finish, really nice night for the captain, and sets Liverpool on their way to another 3 points. But 3 points isn't for everyone. No. Last night, Fuad, I'm going to finish up. They are wobbly as anything in East Manchester. I reckon if you went there now, they'd be like jelly. all these boys and girls. They just don't fancy it when the red men put on a bit of pressure. They're wilting in East Manchester. I described them as I've used too many metaphors. I don't know if they're wilting or wobbly.
You can be both, I think.
Whatever the W's are, they're whimpering, wilting, wobbling.
All the W's except winning.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to know, Fu.
No, they don't. It was weird to watch, because we caught those sort of last 15, 20 minutes on the walk back to the station, and like, there was no sort of jeopardy in it. It felt really, really comfortable for Villa. I'd obviously didn't see the whole game, and obviously when you watch the match of the day packages afterwards, you're not getting the full story of it. But it didn't feel like Villa were purely creating chances on the break. It was actual, dominance and creating chances while City were back in their shape and them unpicking them. So that'll obviously be a worrying sign for them. It's a brilliant sign for us because right now, when City are in this form, we know it better than anyone. You need them to drop as many points as possible in these spells because, I still in the back of my mind, because I am scarred, John. I'm tarnished from the years that we've had, that they can go on a run and win 12, 13 on the bounce later on in the season. I feel like that could happen when they get players back and things. So right now, before they go off to the Club World Cup, if they can be wobbly as fuck, that would be great. And keep the jelliness up and yeah, we'll be there. We'll be taking advantage of it, hopefully.
We just used the word scar because we all are sort of a little bit, but I think as well for them, they know that Liverpool don't go anywhere. And so last year, everyone sort of thought, oh yeah, but Arsenal, they'll go away at the end, and then that's what they did. And so they'll be looking at Arsenal and thinking, well, we know we can sort of, if we get our act together, we'll probably sort of end up surpassing them. But for Liverpool, even the ones where they did win it, we kept winning and winning and winning, and they had to be sort of perfected. And there's obviously the year where we just blow everyone out the way. And so I think they'll fear, Liverpool more than Arsenal, because I think, you say how you will score, but their kind of, our shared history with each other suggests that, you can't show much weakness, and they're showing more than us at the moment.
Totally, and the man just seemed to see it coming a bit earlier. The way he talked after games, even when they were winning, it almost like he sort of forecasted this a little bit, I thought, Pep Guardiola. And I wonder if it's a little bit of, what we had after the quadruple season, where we don't win the quadruple, obviously, and they go and win the treble. But it's a similar sort of like that little bit of edge just missing, that little bit of desire, or if you want to call it that, I don't know. But there's new players in there. There's all these things that have added up, and I think, yeah, you're right. There's enough players in that Man City side and the manager himself who also know what happens when that happens, because they've seen Liverpool sort of capitalise on it before. I'm a bit weird with Arsenal. I don't know where you are with them. I can't tell if they are serious or not. I feel like when they do the things they're doing, they are.
I think they are. I think Declan Rice is given another element to them. I mean, listen, that's what £100 million signing should do. But I think, last season you sort of do a bit fragile. He's obviously added a bit of steel and late goals and stuff like that. I think he is a really good player. Whether he's got sort of a full season in his legs, I feel like he's played a lot of football. Over the last couple of years. And so I think they are serious, but I just think we're deadly.
Yeah, we're deadly serious. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I think I'm more than happy Liverpool doing what they're doing right now and quietly going about it. All the talks about Arsenal, Villa now as well, have made the headlines, if you like. I'm more than happy for Liverpool to be where they are and win the way they're winning, because we'll have enough games where we can lay statements down. That comes later on in the season. We don't need that to be now. We don't need to be taking the media's attention with what we're doing. So Liverpool being in the position they are, I think, will be those sort of silent killers, the silent assassins, ready to pounce when the time comes.
Absolutely, that was good, wasn't it? Listen, Fuad's happy, and as I always say, if Fuad's happy, I'm happy. Listen, hope you're happy as well. Hope you enjoyed that. Did you enjoy learning with me, Fuad?
I did. I learned so much, John. I learned so much about jelly and where it's located.
And there's more words to do with wobbling and stuff like that, with beginning with a W, than any of us thought. But every day is a school day at the Anfield Wrap, or at least Monday when we'll be back after Crystal Palace. Enjoy. It's John Gibbons from the Anfield Wrap here at Anfield to sample the ultimate Anfield experience. We've also brought a subscriber, Jamie, along with us as well. It's his birthday. What a birthday treat it's going to be. So let's get in.
I'm feeling like a little kid at Christmas, even though I'm 33, and I just think it's going to get better from here, I reckon.
So not a bad start today, mate. We've been in the boardroom, out here in the pitch, hearing stories from Tomo. It's been alright, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been great so far. I've really enjoyed myself.
So you fancy kickabout at Melwood?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, let's get changed to get down. Walking onto the bus and how nice it was as well. I felt like a proper footballer.
Yeah, you do. It's just these little experiences that just give you that that taste of what it must be like, and imagine doing that every day. It's great that the club can offer something like this to anyone that wants to come along and do it, you know, and I'm the lucky one that I'm getting to do it first, which is unreal really, isn't it?
So our participants that come onto this experience get to work on the same things that our academy kids work on. The state-of-the-art facilities. Obviously former players come down and show them how it's done and give them stories about the old days as well. So hopefully the experience for people doing it as a one-off is something truly amazing.
This is it, the end of a wonderful day, whether we like it or not. We're going to have to go home. It's been brilliant, Steele, fantastic.
I scored at Melwood, can't take it off me.
And on your birthday to get everything that you've done, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah, it's been a great day, thanks very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. LiverpoolFC.com/stadium-tours. If you want to get involved, great birthday present like for Jamie, great Christmas presents coming up as well. But thanks a lot for them for inviting us today.